How does the nafs torture the soul, and does it still do that when we enter tariqah?
How does the what?
How does the nafs torture soul?
By keeping it a hostage. Doesn't let the soul to experience anything. And the nafs comes and inflicts difficulty upon the soul. All the bad characteristics, all the desires, everything that people are doing is inflicting hardship upon the soul. Because the soul is sent from paradise and not doing anything about paradise, not doing anything from a paradise nature. And that becomes like a camel that's not given water. And that's why Naqatullah and the camel of Allah was symbolic of the soul. Soul goes a long way in its torture. I mean somebody can never do anything good for it and try to darken it and diminish it. So they're killing and try to kill their own soul with the bad character and bad actions. This is the immense nature of the soul. So that's a torture. But when somebody comes to Islam and comes to realities, the hopes are that they would try to nourish their soul. But sometimes they get more lost in nourishing their body, and that's why we described. The soul is interested in the attack upon the nafs and shaitan. So anytime you feel your nafs was insulted, that you felt insulted, you felt degraded, you felt humiliated, the soul is very happy. It doesn't care for the ego and doesn't care for the shaitan that's partnered with the ego. So when is the soul happy? When the nafs and shaitan are beaten. When is the nafs happy? When you praise the nafs and allow it to do what it wants to do. When is shaitan happy? Again when the nafs and the shaitans are praised and allowed to do what they want to do. So the spiritual practices are food and energy for the soul. That's why the nafs doesn't allow it and the shaitan comes against it. Nafs won't do it and the shaitan will give a fatwa why it's not real. That's why you see people, so we want to sit and do zikr. The shaitan will come, put a kufi and begin to teach people, no, this is a innovation, this was never done like this was not… He wants to give a fatwa so that his friend the nafs, don't do it. Don't allow this soul to do zikr. If he should do his zikr and do his tafakkur, he's going to be very powerful, then he's going to attack the nafs and the shaitan's going to be in trouble. He won't have his partner, he won't have his shareek. When we understand this is a system and a crime syndicate. So the shaykhs are like police, they know out of these three the soul is a hostage and it's kept against its will, it's sent from paradise and it's not getting anything from paradise here. And the two criminals is the nafs and the shaitan. The shaitan has a character that never comes forward because it has too much aggression. We described before that the one whom answers your door and is your front man, the one who comes to your face and operates your being is your nafs. Because he tries to be nice and polite and hide all of his bad characteristics. The shaitan if he comes to the front he'll punch someone because it's aggressive, he doesn't know about hiding anything. So people whom they have no filter, when they say that, what does that mean? That their nafs and shaitan became one. They don't even have a fake face, they just come straight out angry, violent and vulgar. These are most dangerous. But the one whom their nafs is trying to be cordial and polite and soft and kind is hiding something because the shaitan is there and hiding in the background. But when the soul and the actions of the soul are strong, they zikr, their actions, they're generous, they're kind, they're soft and they're loving, then their nafs is defeated and down. The nafs is not trying to be something but knows that it's nothing. and as a result the soul has put enough power over the nafs that the shaitan has diminished and is hiding. And that's when Allah describes, you can attack all my creatures except my mukhlis. Shaitan said, I will attack them and take them down, and Allah said, take whoever you want down except my mukhlis. So the mukhlis, they have a yaqeen and certainty in their Islam and in their iman, and as a result of the strength of their iman and the strength of their soul, they have suppressed their nafs and they're continuously suppressing their nafs, and as a result their shaitan is very much diminished and overwhelmed by the energy of their soul. And then these become external guides and lights and moons for this creation, where they reflect the light and the reality of their soul. They teach from their soul, they guide from their soul. Everything is from their soul, not from the nafs and from shaitan, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. Ya Rasul Kareem, Ameen.